Good morning students. Last class we discussed the group 14 elements, general properties, some physical and chemical properties we are discussing. Now we are going to start with the group 14 elements, allotropes of carbon. Most important discussion for the group 14 elements is allotropes of carbon. Carbon having how many allotropes we are having, their importance, the detailed discussion about the allotropes of carbon. Carbon having the two types of allotropes. One is crystalline allotropes and another one is amorphous allotropes. One is crystalline allotropes and another one is amorphous allotropes. Crystalline allotropic forms, example for the crystalline allotropic forms of carbon is diamond, graphite, and fullerene. Fullerenes. Amorphous form of the carbon is, some example for the amorphous form of carbon is coal, coke, wood charcoal, animal charcoal, sugar charcoal, petroleum coke, lamp black, etc. So some examples we are giving the crystalline form of carbon and amorphous form of the carbon. Crystalline form of the carbon, most important crystalline forms are diamond, graphite and fullerene. Amorphous many forms we are having coal, coke, animal charcoal, petroleum coke, lamp black, sugar charcoal, wood charcoal, like this. So coal is formed generally, we know how the coal is formed. The coal is formed in nature, natural occurring material by the long decomposition at high pressure and temperature and limited supply of the oxygen. The vegetable matter will be converted into coal or coke, we know that one. See the different forms of the coke, see the different forms of the coal, different forms of coal. What are the different forms? In that one, what is the carbon percentage of in that coal is C. The example is, first one is pent. The name of the coal is pent. This coal containing 60% of carbon. It's containing 60% of carbon. Second one is anthracite. Anthracite. It's containing 95% of the carbon. 95% of carbon. Third one is lignite. Lignite containing 67% of carbon. Fourth one is bituminous coal. Bituminous coal. It's containing 88% of carbon. 88% of carbon. And see, out of these four, one which is the best coal means anthracite is the best coal. Anthracite is the best coal. And generally, what is the common coal? This is a common coal containing 88% of the carbon, and the more purest form of coal, that is anthracite. Common form is bituminous coal and purest form is anthracite. Now we will discuss about the one by one clearly. Now first see crystalline form of the carbon. In that crystalline form, three important forms we are having, that is diamond, graphite and fullerene. First we are going to discuss about the diamond. Diamond, graphite and fullerene all are having the carbon only. So already we know diamond is one of the crystalline form of the carbon. Diamond is a crystalline form of carbon, one of the crystalline form of the carbon. Moreover, it is a three-dimensional giant molecule, 3D giant molecule structure. If you are seeing the +1 or +2 textbook, on the textbook the diagram they are giving diamond and graphite structures they are giving. It is a three-dimensional giant molecule structure. So already we know diamond is very hard. It is having the highest melting and boiling points. Highest melting point and boiling points. Diamond is the hardest material in the earth, and it is many uses we are having, drilling the rocks. Otherwise we have to cut the glasses. So many uses we know about the diamond and all. So internally what chemistry we are going to discuss about the diamond means, in diamond carbon hybridization of the carbon is, its hybridization is sp3 carbon. sp3 means what we can say, shape of the molecule is tetrahedral. Shape is tetrahedral. So especially in the diamond, so tetrahedral means, so we know tetrahedral shape like this, 1 2 3 4. Here also carbon, all these are carbons only. So in diamond I am writing the one simple molecule. So each carbon is surrounded by 4 other carbon atoms, 4 other carbons with single bond, with single strong covalent bond, So each carbon is surrounded by 4 other carbon atoms, and moreover that 4 other carbon atoms also with the single bond, and moreover that the covalent bonds also very strong. That's why it is the hardest substance and it is having a high melting and boiling points. So the carbon bond length in diamond, carbon bond length in the diamond is 1.54 angstroms. Moreover, we know very important point, diamond having there is no free of electrons. Diamond is a bad conductor. Because of it is having there is no unpaired of electrons. Moreover, all the electrons are paired up, so all are 4 covalency. So there is no unpaired of electrons, That's why it is a bad conductor. No unpaired of electrons. It never soluble in any other solvents. Diamond or insoluble in all solvents. It never soluble in any other solvents. So we know diamond is how much precious it is. It will be, we are using the mostly will be jewelry. In that jewelry the value of the diamond can be expressed. Value of diamond, value of diamond can be expressed in terms of mass unit. That mass unit, the value of the diamond can be measured in the form of mass unit, that is called as carat. Carat. So what is the carat means? 1 carat is 200 milligrams. 200 milligrams is called as 1 carat. The value, the mass of the diamond can be expressed in the form of carat. 1 carat is 200 milligrams. And diamond will be more stable form. So if the diamond is stable up to 1500 degrees Celsius, it is stable up to 1500 degrees Celsius. For suppose if diamond you are heating the more than 1500 degrees Celsius, that is around 1800 to 2000 degrees Celsius we are heating diamond, it will be converted into graphite. Diamond will be converted into graphite. Why the diamond is having high melting and boiling point means because of its giant molecular polymeric structures. Moreover, if the diamond form, if the chemical reactions you are seeing for the carbon we cannot consider as a diamond. Why? Because in diamond shape it is chemically inert. It is chemically inert. It never react with any others. So that's why there is no chemical properties for this one. So this is the discussion about the diamond. Major important discussion we have to keep in our mind about the diamond is what is the hybridization, what is the bond length between the carbon and carbon, each carbon is surrounded by how many carbon atoms in the diamond 4. It is a giant polymeric structure like this. And next one we have to discuss about the graphite. Graphite, it is also one of the most important crystalline form of the carbon. It is a crystalline form of carbon. The allotrope form of the carbon formed by the thermal decomposition of the corundum. Major important discussion is graphite. Graphite is used as a lubricant. It is used as a lubricant. Why it is used as a lubricant means, see the structure of the graphite. Graphite is having the layer type of arrangement. It is a two-dimensional. It is a two-dimensional layer type of arrangement. Layer type of arrangement. So because of the layer type of arrangement, the bonds between the carbon and carbon is very weak. So it is having the slippery nature. So that's why it is used as a lubricant. And moreover, many electrochemistry also we are discussing about the graphite. Graphite is used as a best conductor, and we can use it as a electrode also. And it is used for the electroplating, electrotyping processor for the manufacturing and refining of the lubricants. Moreover, most important thing is we are using the word for the pencil is lead pencil. Lead pencils. Lead pencils. Lead pencils means is the mixture of graphite plus it's a graphite graphite plus clay. The mixture of graphite plus clay, that is called as lead pencils. Previously they will ask one question from here, what is the percentage of the lead? What is the percentage of the lead in the lead pencil? That is 0%. The name is lead pencil, but there is no lead inside the pencil. Why? Because pencil is made up of only graphite and clay only. Graphite is also known as, it is also called as graphite is also known as black lead. They are also known as the black lead. The hybridization of the carbon in graphite. The hybridization of carbon in graphite is sp2. sp2. Carbon-carbon bond length. Carbon-carbon bond length in graphite is, that is 1.42 angstroms. So the arrangement of the graphite is, already I told you, it is a layer type of arrangement, that is hexagonal layer type of structure. Graphite is a hexagonal layer type of arrangement. Layer type of arrangement. So hexagonal layer type of arrangement means, you can see the hexagonal rings, hexagonal layer type of arrangement like this. Hexagonal layer type of arrangement. So one layer with another layer, there is a one layer with another layer I am taking. So there is a bond we are having like this. You can take any one of the carbon. In any one of the carbon, one carbon is surrounded by the 3 other carbon atoms only. In graphite, each carbon is surrounded by the 3 other carbon atoms. In graphite, each carbon is surrounded by 3 other carbon atoms. 3 other carbon atoms. And already I told you this is a giant molecule, and layer to layer there is a dotted line I represented. So the force of attraction between the two layers is weak van der Waals force of attraction. Weak van der Waals forces of attraction. Weak van der Waals force of attraction. That's why, because of the weak van der Waals force of attraction, it is having the slippery nature. So each carbon is surrounded by 3 other carbon atoms. The 3 other carbon atoms also covalent bonds. Covalent bonds means it is can form the only single bond. Moreover, graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Graphite is good conductor of electricity. Good conductor. Because a reason is because of free electrons are available. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity because there are free electrons are available. That's why it is a good conductor of electricity. We are using the electrical process and metallurgical process also. And moreover, graphite is a best reducing agent also. Sometimes we are using is the best reducing agent. And diamond is a chemically inert, but this is graphite is a chemically active. Graphite is chemically active. For suppose the well-known and simple reaction, always we are writing C plus O2 CO2. Here that carbon you have to mention whether it is a diamond or graphite. It must be a graphite. Why? Because graphite only reaction with oxygen to form the carbon dioxide, but diamond on reaction with the oxygen it cannot give the CO2. Diamond is the more stable, so least reactive. Chemical it is the least reactive, and graphite is the more reactive. Moreover, graphite on reaction with concentrated sulfuric acid, concentrated nitric acid, it can form the metallic acid. Mellitic acid. That mellitic acid formula is C6COOH 6 times. Graphite on reaction with concentrated nitric acid to form the mellitic acid. See the comparison density of the diamond and graphite, which is more denser generally. So more number of bonds are surrounding the diamond, so diamond is more denser. Density of diamond and graphite. Density of diamond and graphite. So generally, obviously, diamond is the more denser. So density is 3510 kilogram per meter cube, and this is 2220 kg per meter cube. Now already I told you that graphite is a layer type of arrangement. That layer also AB type of layer arrangement, ABC layer type of arrangement. You will see in the solid state chapter what is the AB type of arrangement, ABC type of arrangement, hexagonal rings we are seeing the same manner. This is the discussion about the graphite. And third most important crystalline form of the carbon is fullerenes. Fullerenes, the diagram of the fullerenes, you have to imagine the it is like a soccer ball like structure. Fullerenes can be prepared by the heating of the graphite with electric arc. Graphite and taking, I am using the electric arc. Electric arc I am using. I am heating in presence of the inert gases, in presence of the noble gases. Then we can get the fullerenes. How to prepare the fullerenes means I am taking the graphite, and by using the electric arc in presence of the noble gases, we can prepare the fullerenes. So fullerenes are the only purest form of the carbon. Fullerenes are the only purest form of the carbon. The purest form, purest crystalline form of carbon is fullerene. More purest form is fullerene. So fullerenes generally we can say like a cage like structure. Fullerenes are cage like structure. Cage like structure. Moreover, fullerenes means minimum, each fullerene containing minimum 60 molecules per minimum 60 molecules are present, and moreover these 60 molecules are in the form of soccer's ball like structure. This structure name is called as Buckminster's fullerene. Buckminster fullerene. So looking like a soccer ball structure, minimum 60 carbons we are having, That 60 molecules are arranged like a ball. That is called as Buckminster's fullerenes. In this Buckminster's fullerenes, minimum 20 six-membered hexagonal carbon rings, which is plus 12 5-membered rings, 12 5-membered pentagonal rings, and these rings are fused together and to form the Buckminster's fullerene. This Buckminster fullerenes carbon hybridization in fullerenes is, we are taking from the graphite. In graphite, carbon hybridization is sp2. From graphite, you are doing the electric arc. We are preparing the sp2. We are preparing the fullerenes, means the hybridization of fullerenes also sp2 only. In the Buckminster's fullerene, carbon all our bonds are single bonds only. Each carbon is surrounded by 3 other carbon atoms only. Each carbon is surrounded by 3 other carbons. So this is about the Buckminster's fullerene. Allotropes of carbon and different forms we are discussing, crystalline forms and amorphous forms. In that crystalline forms detail we are explaining about what is the diamond, what is the graphite, and what is the fullerene, what is their bond length, hybridizations, how they are strong, what type of arrangement will be there, what is the uses of this one. Everything we are discussing in the crystalline forms. Now important compounds related to this group 14 elements. Generally important compounds means we have to discuss about the most familiar element is carbon and silicon. Important compounds means most familiar element for us in this group of element is carbon. Carbon related some important compounds, their preparation and properties we are going to discuss. Carbon most important compounds, first one is carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide formula we know. Second one is carbon dioxide. Second one is carbon dioxide. And third one is carbonic acid. Carbonic acid formula H2CO3. Carbonic acid. And fourth one is carbon suboxide. Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and carbon suboxide. Carbon suboxide formula is C3O2. These 4 compounds, carbon related most important compounds. These 4 compounds, their preparation and properties, uses we can see. Then carbon is over. Then we will discuss about the silicon. I am going to start with the first compound is carbon monoxide. CO. This carbon monoxide, first we will see the preparation, then we will discuss about the properties. Preparation, first we will see about the how to prepare the carbon monoxide. So we know how to prepare the carbon monoxide. Most familiar and general method for us, carbon reaction with insufficient of oxygen, we can get carbon monoxide. See, in the first thermodynamics we will discuss about the Hassel also. Carbon can form in one step or multi steps. Amount of energy, liberated energy is same. C plus CO2, that we know. Small amount of the carbon monoxide, how to prepare means decomposition of formic acid, HCOOH. Formic acid I am taking. On decomposition in presence of sulfuric acid. So whenever you are writing the concentrated sulfuric acid, what is the nature of concentrated sulfuric acid? It is a dehydrating agent, so it can absorb the water. So remaining is carbon monoxide. Formic acid on decomposition, it can give the carbon monoxide. Not only formic acid, weak acid like formic acid or oxalic acid I am taking. Oxalic acid, same concentrated sulfuric I am adding. It can give H2O plus CO2 plus CO. From metallic oxides, most familiar reactions, and you have to keep in your mind. Again we will review in the second year metallurgical chapter. Metallurgy one chapter will be there. Carbon by the reduction of metal oxides. By the reduction of metal oxides. So I am taking the metal oxides like iron oxide Fe2O3, otherwise zinc oxide I am taking ZnO, and I am using the by the reduction. Reduction means we need the one reducing agent. The best reducing agent for the metal iron oxide and zinc oxide. You know the blast furnace diagram in the metallurgical process of iron. So there you are adding the coal or coke. So metal oxides I am taking the carbon, it becomes metal, and 3 moles I am writing carbon monoxide. Here also zinc plus carbon monoxide. Metal oxides are converted into metal. Another method of preparation of carbon monoxide is potassium ferrocyanide on reaction with the concentrated sulfuric acid. Potassium ferrocyanide. Potassium ferrocyanide with concentrated sulfuric acid also, it can give the carbon monoxide. Potassium ferrocyanide formula K4FeCN6. This is the most important laboratory reagent for the qualitative analysis. And reaction with sulfuric acid H2SO4, I am adding small amount of water. We can get our major compound is carbon monoxide, and remaining compounds we can get potassium sulfate plus ferrosulfate plus ammonium sulfate like this. You want to balance this equation, and taking 6 moles of sulfuric acid and 6 moles of water, we can get the 2 moles of totally 4 potassiums and 1 iron FeSO4 and ammonia 3 moles and 2 3 and 6 moles of carbon monoxide. This is our required compound. This is general method of preparations and laboratory method of preparations. How to prepare the commercial method? Commercial method means large scale of preparation. Commercial method of preparation of carbon monoxide. How to prepare the carbon commercial method for the simple method, that is pass steam over red hot coke. Meaning I am taking the coke, I am heating at high temperature, it becomes red color, and I am passing the steam, it becomes CO plus H2, carbon monoxide plus hydrogen gas. So the mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas, another name we are having this one, that is called as water gas. Why? Because these carbon monoxide also gas, hydrogen is a gas, and I am taking the water, carbon, and moreover this is steam, not water. Steam in vapor state I am taking. So a red hot coke, I pass the steam, we can get the carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas. The mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, this is called as water gas or syngas or syngas, or another name for this one, that is also called as blue gas. Blue gas. These are burning with the blue color flame. That's why name is called as blue gas. First, for suppose instead of hydrogen, if I am writing N2, the mixture of carbon monoxide and N2, that is called as producer gas. Producer gas. Mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, that is called as water gas. Mixture of carbon monoxide and nitrogen, it is called as producer gas. Why the name is called as this is called as syngas means we are using for the synthesization of methanol. Carbon monoxide and hydrogen I am taking. I am going to synthesize the methanol. Methanol means methyl alcohol, 2 moles. So in the laboratory, how to prepare the methanol means, so we are synthesis. We are to prepare the methanol. That's why its name is called as syngas. So it is burning with the blue flame. That's name is called as blue gas. It is coming from water. That's why its name is called as water gas. The mixture of carbon monoxide and nitrogen, that is called as producer gas. Now properties. These are the 5 methods of preparation we are having. 4 are laboratory method and 1 is the commercial method preparation. Sorry, preparation over properties. So already we know carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless and a tasteless gas, and any gases are insoluble in water, so insoluble in water, colorless, odorless gas, tasteless also, colorless, odorless and tasteless gas, and which is insoluble in water. Is insoluble in water. So it is used as carbon monoxide is used as the best reducing agent in metallurgical process. Best reducing agent in the metallurgical process. It can reduce metal oxides into metal. So why it is used as best reducing agent means it converts metal oxides into metal oxides into metal. The same above equations I am taking. For example, iron oxide Fe2O3. I am writing carbon monoxide. Previously I am writing carbon. Now I am writing carbon monoxide. Same zinc oxide I am writing carbon monoxide. It becomes metal. Zinc plus carbon dioxide. It becomes iron plus carbon dioxide. So this is the best reducing agent. And moreover, in the Mons process we are having one of the important process for the refining of the metals. Some of the metals can be purified in the vapor state. So that's why that type of metals like nickel. So Mons process. In Mons process, we have to refine the metal of the nickel in the this is also called as vapor phase refining. Vapor phase refining. All these equations we are going to repeat in the metallurgical process of the 12th standard. So nickel, whenever it is on reaction with carbon monoxide, so it can form the complex NiCO4 times. It's called as metal carbonyl. Metal carbonyl. Metal carbonyl. Carbon monoxide. Here carbon monoxide can act as donor, and this is Lewis base, electron pair donor, that is Lewis base, and nickel is the electron pair acceptor, that is Lewis acid. And the best well known property we know, oxygen, carbon monoxide is highly poisonous. Why it is poisonous means it is having the ability to form the complex with the hemoglobin, that we know our blood containing hemoglobin, that hemoglobin and combined with carbon monoxide to form the carboxy hemoglobin. Hemoglobin and combined with the carbon monoxide to form carboxy hemoglobin. Carboxy hemoglobin. It's a complex compound. Complex means it can form the precipitate. So already we know carbon monoxide is poisonous. Why it is poisonous means it is combined with our blood red cells, and finally it can form the complex or precipitate. Finally it can causes the death. Next, reaction with chlorine. Reaction with chlorine. Most important reaction, carbon monoxide on reaction with chlorine. It can form one important compound, that is COCl2. Its name is called as carbonyl chloride. Carbonyl chloride. Another name for this one is called as phosgene. Phosgene. And this is on reaction with this is on further reaction with ammonia to form urea. Urea form NH2, CONH2. Phosgene, it is a poisonous gas, and urea also poisonous. Reaction with NaOH. Reaction with sodium hydroxide. If the carbon monoxide on reaction with sodium hydroxide NaOH combined, and tell me under the pressure, I am applying the pressure and some temperature also, we can form the sodium formate, HCOONA, like formic acid salt. Its name is called as sodium formate. So already I told you reaction with hydrogen. Reaction with hydrogen. So the mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, we know that is called as water gas. Why it is called as syngas? We are going to synthesize the methanol here. So here we have to use the catalyst is zinc oxide or chromium oxide is used as a catalyst. We can form the methanol. Reaction with sulfur. Reaction with sulfur. So carbon monoxide on reaction with sulfur. Carbon monoxide reaction with sulfur to give COS. Name of this compound is carbonyl sulfide. Carbonyl sulfide. Like this, many chemical reactions we are having. So where you are using that water gas and producer gas means water gas or producer gas we are using in the is used as a fuel. Why? Because while you are burning these two gases, we can get the large amount of energy. See the structure. So Lewis dot structure we have to see. Carbon tetravalency, 4 electrons are there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oxygen, fifth group of elements, so it is having 6 electrons. Out of 6 electrons, I am writing 2 here, 2 here, and there is a bond here, a double bond. Remaining 2 electrons, oxygen can donate towards carbon, can form the day 2 bond. So carbon monoxide, we can form the 2 sigma bonds, and one is the coordinate covalent bond. This is the Lewis dot structure for the carbon monoxide. So this is the preparation and properties of the carbon monoxide. Then next class we will see the preparation and properties of carbon dioxide and carbonic acid, suboxides, and remaining discussion about the silicon.